Welcome to TPM Vid's Disney Beat, where we talk about all things Disney. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. We also have Instagram and Twitter. You can find us at TPM Videos. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to join using the link in the description get a free 2-month premium membership. From the moment you step into a Walt Disney World theme park, your senses are stimulated with the sights and sounds of Disney magic. Now, the parks have definitely evolved over time as we've seen many rides and attractions come and go. Disney is known for their attention to detail, and although so many of these favorites are no longer in the parks, their legacy still lives on. You can find so many hidden details and secrets that either pay homage to these lost attractions or are leftover relics of what used to be. So sit back as we explore the past and count down the top 7 hidden secrets of extinct Disney World rides. Number 7. There's nothing quite like the buildup of excitement while driving into the parking plaza at Magic Kingdom. In a way, this sign has become an icon of the theme park. We've been seeing it here for decades, but did you know that it used to have a home in Epcot? What's currently under construction to become the Play Pavilion, the Gold Dome building originally opened as the Wonders of Life Pavilion in October of 1989. Now, if you're familiar with Wonders of Life, this entrance sign, along with the Tower of Life DNA sculpture, is probably the image engraved into your memory. Well, this wasn't the original sign, and it was actually installed around September of 1991, replacing this. Look familiar? Yup, that's the same metal arch that's now at the Magic Kingdom parking plaza. It was installed in time for Walt Disney World's 20th anniversary celebration in 1991, which would have been just 6 days after this home video footage was taken. As you can see, it was originally painted blue, but then in 2012, it received its new gold look that we all know today. With its gold color, it's now even more of a tribute to how it used to look in its old home at the Wonders of Life Pavilion. Number 6. At Disney's Hollywood Studios, the 14-acre Star Wars Galaxy's Edge sits on what used to be the Streets of America. In addition to the iconic Backlot tour, another attraction this area offered was the stunt show Lights, Motors, Action. It opened at what was then Disney MGM Studios in May of 2005, but it only had an 11-year run. Although it was still a popular show at the time, it closed along with the rest of Streets of America in April of 2016. It's said that in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, no references from other planets can be found on Batuu. But that's not exactly true. If you head into the Outpost Marketplace, you'll find this rack with 3 mini speedster bikes on display. When you get up close, you'll notice that the middle bike has some writing in Arabesh. What does it stand for? Well, it's a hidden tribute to Lights, Motors, Action. Galaxy's Edge took over the Streets of America and the Backlot tour, but the Outpost Marketplace is around the exact same spot where the stunt show once stood. This letter in Arabesh is an L, then that's an M, and finally an A, to give us LMA, the acronym for Lights, Motors, Action. The circular symbol also appears to be an abstract version of the tachometer with a very similar red curved line, don't you think? So, although this extinct area of Hollywood Studios is a relic of the past, a tribute to the Streets of America is hidden right in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Number 5. Hollywood Studios has changed a lot over the last few years, and although it's lost a lot of its movie-making theming, a bit of it still exists in the Backlot Express. This quick-service restaurant, themed to an old Hollywood prop warehouse, really transports you to the golden era of Disney MGM Studios. Inside, there's a lot of detail to take in, but there's one prop hidden in the restaurant that has ties to an extinct Epcot attraction. Up on the roof by the pylons is what appears to be an oversized fidget spinner, but it's actually a piece of Horizon's history. Horizons opened on October 1st, 1983 at Epcot. This Omnimover-based dark ride took you through a variety of scenes that envisioned what the future would be like. Near the beginning of the ride, you could find the Mesa Verde scene. There were a bunch of hovercrafts floating in the distance, then you'd pass this. Look familiar? Well, this desert hovercraft is partially what's in the Backlot Express. I say partially because it's actually the mold Imagineers used to create the vehicle, and it's not the actual prop itself. When Horizons closed in January of 1999, many of the props were shipped to Paris to be used on the studio tram tour at the Walt Disney Studios park. This is where the actual hovercraft went. Now, it's hard to know, though, if the hovercraft mold was placed here before or after Horizons closed, since Disney was still actively removing and adding props to the restaurant in the 90s and early 2000s. It was probably just sitting around Central shops since 1983. Either way, it's still really cool to know that a piece of Epcot history still lives on at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Number 4. As you're walking across the bridge to head into Pandora at Disney's Animal Kingdom, if you look into Discovery River on the right-hand side, you'll see this rock formation sort of hidden along the riverbank. It's begun to decay and is slowly being taken over by nature, but if you squint, you can still make out the shape of a dragon. Well, this pile of rocks is actually a little hidden leftover of an extinct Animal Kingdom attraction. When the park first opened in April of 1998, the Discovery River boats were one of the 4 rides that could be found at the park. You would travel along the river in one of these boats as you pass by some less than thrilling scenery and show scenes. Well, you know that little rock formation? That used to be a water feature you'd pass by on the ride, and it was placed there to help tie in what's now an unbuilt Disneyland. The original intent for Animal Kingdom was to focus on 3 different types of animals: real, ancient, and imagined. Beastly Kingdom was a land that was originally part of the plans for Animal Kingdom, and this land would be centered around mythical creatures like unicorns and dragons, covering the imagined animals. Due to budget constraints, it was put on hold, and as a temporary placeholder, Camp Mini Mickey was constructed instead. Beastly Kingdom is also the reason behind the dragon in the Animal Kingdom logo and the unicorn section of the parking lot. Everything was designed with the full intention of Beastly Kingdom eventually becoming a reality, and the Discovery River boats would tie in these 3 types of animals found at Animal Kingdom. Now, although the river boats did add kinetic energy into the river, guests were less than impressed with the experience. It wasn't the most exciting ride, but it was actually supposed to be treated as more of a transportation system. It was a very short-lived attraction, and it closed in August of 1999, just over a year after the park opened. Even though the ride has now been gone for more than 20 years, there are some other remnants, in addition to the Dragon Fountain, that can still be found around the river. For starters, both the old load and unload docks are still standing today. When you walk over the bridge to get into Discovery Island, on the right-hand side, this was one of the old boat docks, and this other one is found in Asia. Also, a lot of the rocks placed around the river, like these here in Africa, were also part of the Discovery Riverboat experience. They actually used to be geysers that would spray water. What's incredible to see now is just how much of it has been overtaken by nature. I guess that's what 20 years does. So next time you're at Disney's Animal Kingdom, take a walk around Discovery River and find these hidden relics of the past. Number 3. This next one brings us back into Hollywood Studios, but instead of having ties to Disney World, it references an extinct part of Disney California Adventure. There's nothing quite like the sights and sounds of Sunset Boulevard that let you travel back into the 1930s. On top of these Art Deco buildings, you can find a variety of era-appropriate billboards, like this one for Hess. But if you look to the buildings on the right-hand side, you'll see a billboard for Paradise Pier. If you're familiar with Disney California Adventure, then you'd recognize this as Paradise Pier, which was one of the original lands at the park. Here we have California Screamin', the Golden Zephyr, and the Sunwheel, tied together with the same Paradise Pier font. Well, this billboard hasn't been around for long, and it was installed in October of 2017 while Disney was enhancing the area for new winter holiday offerings. At the time this billboard went up, Paradise Pier was still at Disney California Adventure. But then in November, Disney announced it would be transforming into Pixar Pier. After a couple months of construction and retheming, Pixar Pier was open to the public in June of 2018, officially making Paradise Pier an extinct Disneyland. This billboard isn't hidden per se, but if you aren't looking up, You'll definitely miss this tribute to the now extinct Paradise Pier. Number 2. When Disney MGM Studios opened in May of 1989, the Chinese theater was home to the Great Movie Ride. It was a classic Disney dark ride that allowed you to travel through many iconic scenes from film history. It was always a must-do. Well, as the park began to separate itself from the movie-making theme, Disney closed the Great Movie Ride in August of 2017. They announced that Mickey's very first ride would take its place. Then in March of 2020, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opened. Well, it was sad to lose the Great Movie Ride, but Imagineers delivered and gave us some hidden Easter eggs and tributes to this now extinct Disney ride. This first one is a pretty easy one to spot if you know where to look, and it can be found in the carnival scene. On the left-hand side, you can find a poster for the Great Moving Ride, which is obviously a play on words to the Great Movie Ride. You can see that the characters in the poster all have their hands up. Without a doubt, that's a little reference to the Footlight Parade scene with the chorus girls. But that's not the only Easter egg. In the same scene, you encounter a twister. In the Great Movie Ride, just before you approach the Wizard of Oz scene, there was a video of Sorcerer Mickey, but it was supposed to be the twister scene from the Wizard of Oz. The outline of the black silhouette is actually a twister. But due to licensing rights, Disney was only able to use 3 minutes of the film's dialogue, which was all taken up in the full show scene. So this twister could very well be a reference to the extinct attraction, and if that wasn't enough, once you exit the carnival scene, you'll see the twister on the left-hand side. Amidst the debris, there's this mailbox, and on the mailbox, it says "No place like home," which is a line from the Wizard of Oz. Twister, No Place Like Home, Wizard of Oz, Great Movie Ride, it just all ties together. I did try to take a photo of the mailbox and failed miserably, but when you're right there in person, it's much easier to spot, I promise. Number 1. Over in Storybook Circus at Magic Kingdom, you can find the Barnstormer featuring Goofy as the Great Goofini. This coaster originally opened in October of 1996 as the Barnstormer at Goofy's Wiseacres Farm in Mickey's Toontown Fair. They went with the farm theme since this area used to be home to Grandma Duck's petting farm in Mickey's Birthday Land. They just reused the farm building for the Barnstormer queue and called the area Wiseacres Farms. Well, in February of 2011, the original Barnstormer closed along with Mickey's Toontown Fair to make way for what we now know as Storybook Circus. Just over a year after closing, the newly themed version of the Barnstormer opened in March of 2012. Now, with the new circus theme, there wasn't a trace left of the farm, or at least no prominent traces left. Hidden behind the marquee sign for the ride, you'll see some jumbled up letters painted on the wood. To pay tribute to the old incarnation of the Barnstormer in Mickey's Toontown, Imagineers scrambled Wiseacres Farms onto the planks of the marquee sign. The only way you'd really spot it is if you look behind while in the queue or while you're on the ride heading back into the station. Using some Photoshop magic, I rearranged the wooden boards so that they properly spelt out Wiseacres Farms. It's another fun hidden secret and a really easy detail to miss. Now, a great place to explore and discover more about Photoshop or any other creative medium is with Skillshare. It's an amazing online learning community that offers thousands of classes that lets you expand on your creative passions and hobbies. There's honestly something in here for everyone, whether it's photography, illustration, music, film, plus so much more. One of the courses I've recently been taking is iPhone Filmmaking by Caleb Babcock and Niles Gray. I get asked a lot about what kind of camera I use on the channel, and surprisingly, a lot of the outdoor footage is shot with my iPhone. It's such a handy camera, so I'm always looking for ways to boost the quality. In this course, they shared some gear and apps that let you have more control over the camera settings, which I loved. It's definitely going to take shooting with an iPhone to a whole new level. Skillshare is always launching new classes, and with a premium annual membership, which works out to be just less than $10 a month, you can pick and choose any course you want whenever you want. Since Skillshare is sponsoring the video today, they're offering a free 2-month premium membership for the first 1,000 people who join using the link in the description. It's pretty awesome, right? Thanks so much to Skillshare. So out of all of these now extinct Disney attractions we spoke about in the video, which one would you bring back today? I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below to start a conversation, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video.